Hey everybody, it's Amy here from Amy Sparkly Diamond Painting. I am still here. I do appreciate your patience with me as I try to get my hand to heal because things haven't been going that great with my hand. It is now a little over a month out and it is still very swollen. I can't wear my ring, can't put my fingers together, and I can barely bend my hand. Now if I get it really warm, I can bend it a little further down and work with it, but it's just not going well and it's been quite painful like every day. So I'm hoping we can figure out what's going on and get things back on track. I have been going to physical therapy 2 days a week, but that means that usually a day or two afterwards I really can't do anything with my hand. So it is now Sunday evening. So I was last there Thursday, so I kind of had Friday and Saturday to recover. So I have today and tomorrow to hopefully get a few videos done, and then I'll be playing them through the week. But I do have one video I'm editing on a diamond painting e-pen, which I'm really happy to talk about here. Here it is. This is from the company Opount on Amazon, and I'll be getting that video done and out as soon as possible. That one's going to take a little bit more editing because it's in pieces, but I thought I'd do something a little bit easier tonight and get a cross-stitch video out because I am behind on those as well. And I do owe this company a couple videos, and I owe Painting Fairy a couple videos. So I will hopefully be catching up. I've had a few requests coming in for some PR packages, which I have decided to hold off for now while I catch up. So I do have a Black Friday sneak peek coming from a company, which I won't reveal quite yet, but that'll be coming up. And I did make another purchase from Diamond Art Gallery with some of the new ones that came out. And of course, I'm continuing to buy from Dreamer Designs and Diamond Art Club, so I'll have some unboxings for that. But I'm kind of piling up some stuff to get me through December because I'm going to try to make videos almost every day through December, from December 1st leading up to Christmas. So that was always my goal. I've had to adjust things a little bit. My light is a little bit bright there. Let me turn that so that the glare isn't too bad. But I've had to adjust what my plans were because of my hand, but I still plan on being there for you all even if I can't do a ton of diamond painting and cross stitch. We're going to adjust things a little bit and maybe even talk about things like hand issues because they're very common with those of us that do this kind of crafting, and accommodating various things. I've been learning a lot about things like that. So I've got some pretty good content, I think, coming up for December. But I can sit and kind of chat a little bit with this one because this is an unboxing from my own money. So it's not a product review package. I do have a product review package, another one from this company. And I keep saying this company because I think you guys have maybe already seen a few videos out there. This company was called 121 Stitch, but they have changed their name to 5Stitch.com. The number 5, the word stitch, and then .com. So we'll talk about that as well. But this is from the company 5Stitch, but this particular order was one that I did with my own money. So it's not a product review package, but I do have a Christmas theme product review I will be sharing with you as well. And I also have one from Dream Stitch that I need to share with you all. So I've got some holiday stuff from them. So I'll be working through all of those hopefully over the next week or two, and then we'll lead into Christmas with some fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and let my ring light just slide down. I've been holding it with my other hand, but that makes me handless. So we'll talk about this. So 5Stitch is affiliated with Painting Fairy. They were called 121 Stitch, but there is some trouble with that particular name because there is a cross-stitch warehouse here in the US called 123 Stitch, and it is a very popular warehouse type. You can buy all sorts of cross-stitch and quilting materials from there. They don't print their own cross-stitch or anything like that. They're just a big warehouse company that sort of like Amazon, but for cross-stitchers and quilters and other crafters. So I think the name confusion caused enough trouble that 121 Stitch changed their name. And if you go to their website now, the old 121 Stitch is going to run parallel for a little while till everybody switches over. But they do have a little note at the very top talking about for legal reasons they had to change their name to 5Stitch. So I don't know exactly what those are. But I wonder if some of it had to do with being too close to the name 123 Stitch. So they are now called 5stitch.com. But it's still the same company. They still do licensed, counted, and stamped cross-stitch kits, and their stamped kits are printed by Painting Fairy. I usually try to buy a blend of counted and stamped cross-stitch from them to show you all. And I like the fact that they have a lot of smaller ones, and they are very affordable, with less than $10 for a lot of their stuff. Very holiday themed, and I know Nim Crafts has talked about reaching out to several of the different cross-stitch designers out there, and they have said that yes indeed they are working with 5stitch.com. So when they say they are licensed, they do indeed seem to be licensed. So this box is thick. It's a bit overflowing here with goodies. So why don't we just jump in and see what I have picked out, because I'm not sure I even remember. So stuff is taking about 3 weeks for me to come in from China. That's where these are coming from. They are coming from China, but they are taking about 3 weeks because I need about a week to put an order together depending on how many things you choose, and then a couple weeks for the shipping. So you will probably have more luck getting your stuff faster if you don't make an order quite as big as I tend to do. But usually if I do an order, I make them pretty big so that I get it all done at once and get the free shipping and all that. So it looks like we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in here, but they're all smaller ones. So we'll take a look and maybe get through some of them, maybe all of them. We'll see what we have in here. So first off is their toolkit. They come in these really pretty bags here with all the little stars and everything. But just like Painting Fairy, they have all the same goodies in here, maybe just slightly different colored. So we do have our floss bobbins here, and we get 3 of them. And they are quite useful. Once you put the floss in there, you pop it closed. If I can get my finger to work, I'm trying to be very gentle with my fingers, so that's why it's looking like it's a little more difficult for me to pop this one. But once you pop them closed, there they will hold your thread without letting it escape, and you can stack them. So those are the bobbins. Then we have the finger guards, and I've actually been using one of these without even cross-stitching. My middle finger is the one that has the least amount of feeling right now, so I've sometimes been wearing it because it feels funny when I touch things, even like petting my dog. So I do wear those even when I don't need to for cross-stitching. We do have some needles here, and this is a different brand of needle, so I'll have to try those out there. Let's see if I can see what size needle these are. Yadon, not real sure. They look pretty small though, which is good because I do prefer the smaller ones. So maybe 26, 28 size. They look nice and small. And then of course our favorite gold scissors. I love getting the gold scissors. But we'll start digging into these cross stitches because that's really what you're here to see. So this is from Heart Lenova, so they do put the names on here. You saw this one there at the very front of the package, so we'll start there. This looks like a partial. You don't stitch the sky, but it was a really neat small mountain and water themed one that you could probably frame in a hoop. You don't need a full frame there. 116 wide by 116 high for the stitch count. I like that they put all that information here on there, but I did notice they haven't checked off which of these counts, but there may be a mark there. Typically I'll get 14 or 16 count. So we're gonna get inside here, and oh, I got an 18 count on this one. So you can check on the fabric there. It says 18 count. So this is a nice little one. So I have managed just a little bit of cross stitch with my hand. I usually try to do it in the mornings. These 2 fingers work okay, but it still just feels really weird, and I'm not pushing it, so I do maybe 20 or 30 stitches a day. Not a lot to show you right now, but I am starting to get back into the stitchy business here. So we do have the pattern. Looks like 33 total symbols. Sometimes you get repeat colors though, like the blends there. We do have lots of backstitch in this one. It looks like 6 different colors of backstitch, and all the backstitch there says 2 strands, but since this is 18 count, I'm probably going to do just 1 strand for the backstitch and 2 strands for the cross stitch, but they're all full cross, which is good for 18 count because trying to pierce the middle of a square for 18 count would be very difficult. So I'm glad to see that it is all full cross with some backstitch, but again, I will probably do the backstitch as 1 strand instead of 2, so it doesn't hide the regular stitches. Because these are licensed, I'm not going to show the full pattern, but I will give you a hint of what the chart looks like there. Because showing this, you still don't get the back stitch on there, so I don't think I'm giving too much away by showing you this. But you can see here the fabric for 18 count is printed very, very tightly, very close, very easy to still see the symbols. So I was curious about that for 18 count, and this looks very clear. So they are using the different color background symbols to make it a little bit easier to tell all the symbols apart. But that is a nice little size, and again, you don't have to worry about the sky. So this one will be pretty quick and easy. And look at those beautiful blue colors that come with this one. So Painting Fairy is the floss type and the people printing this. So again, you get the little bow and the plastic floss card on this one. I thought maybe since it was smaller it would be cardboard, but we do have the plastic one. Looks like 28 different DMC colors on this one, and I do go by DMC number, which is what I prefer when I'm stitching anyway. So that's the first one. I'll be going kind of quick through these, but you might get some ideas here for your own Christmas shopping, especially with Black Friday coming up. And I am a 5Stitch affiliate, so I will put a link below. Hopefully I can double check and find the link that I need to put for you all and my discount code, and I do get a small commission on anything you purchase using my code. So just trying to disclose all that information. So kind of along the same lines, here's the next one we have here, and same designer, Heart Lenova, 119 by 116. So that's slightly different stitch count than this one. But this is a 14 count, so they won't be a matched set, but I really wasn't intending for that. But I can look at the picture and see the background sky there is all half stitch, which will make this one go quickly. But I love the beach scene there with the sunset and the rocks in the foreground. Really, really pretty design there. So let's see what we got. So it looks like a few more colors on this one. We have 46 different symbols. So we do have some blends down there at the bottom. We have 4 different colors of backstitch, some 1 strand, some 2 strands. And we do have the half stitches there, several different colors of half stitch, because those are all the background sky. And then we have the full stitch. So, on to the next page here. So 52 different symbols, lots of blending. So a little more detail on this one. We'll take a look here at what we got. So it is definitely bigger as 14 count, which is a little bit easier on the eyes, but a lot of that at the top half here, all this is going to be half stitch, so it's not so bad. So 14 count, you would use 2 strands for the full cross as well as 2 strands for the half stitch on this one. And looks very, very clear, very easy to see there, but definitely a little more detail, a little more colors on this one than the other one. And you could frame it in a hoop. So we do have 2 floss cards here, a lot more colors, not as many shades of blue. We do have some blues in there, but a lot of purples and some pinks because this is a sunset picture. So we do have the bow, and it looks like 33 colors on this one. So 3 onto the second one. Now you could take those 3 colors off and use them, put them on floss drops and use this card for something else if you want to. Or if you want to store the blends as you're working on them, you can write the numbers on there for the blends. That's what I typically do with the extra spaces. So that is that one. Gonna stack these in order. So the tough parts with my hand on doing videos, the reason I've been kind of slow in doing videos, is setting up the camera and everything is hard to do one-handed, and using the clips and everything. That part is hard, but also packaging everything afterwards. So what I typically do when I do one of these videos is I pile everything up and then I take a break and later come back and put them all away. So let's see what's next. Should I do that one? I think I'll do this one next. This is a cutie. And I showed on my first order from them one of the other dragons in this set. This is from Jokahrt, Jokahrt, and it is a really cute dragon. This one is the Ocean Dragon, and I picked 16 count for this one. 123 stitches wide by 149 stitches high. Isn't he cute? I thought he was cute. And if I remember right, the other one didn't have too many colors, which made it easier. So yeah, I'm going to peek ahead here. You can see all the greens and blues, but it's all on one floss card there. So we have 29 different colors. So I did peek ahead there because couldn't help it. But there is the picture without all the glare. Really, really cute. You got actually no back stitch on this one. I think I remember that from the other one as well. It's actually black cross stitches that outline him. So it is actually very simple. As you can see here, we only have full cross and that's it. So 29 colors, full cross, no blends, no back stitch. And yet we have a really cute detailed dragon out of that. So one last look at him. He's cute. So let's see how it looks here on the fabric. And we do have the nice wide borders that go with Painting Fairy and 121 Stitch when they do the printing here. This is a 16 count. You can see how clear that is, but it's going to be pretty easy and straightforward to stitch because there are no specialty stitches, nothing difficult, and you don't stitch the background. So if you're looking for easier things, then check out what 5Stitch has to offer, because I think you will find a lot of easier ones at really affordable prices here. And we'll take another closer look here at all those beautiful colors. Look at all that green and aqua colors there. Beautiful, beautiful. So that one will be a lot of fun to stitch and should be pretty easy once I'm able to stitch again. Let's see what else we have here on the back end of this. I did order one of these, so we'll talk about that, but they also do send the literature here. You get a free sample of the Painting Fairy floss, which they sell for 30 cents a skein before discounts. It is DMC equivalent, really good quality. We also have the information about how they do their color matching and all the details about their floss. And then we have this, which will tell you how to translate all the different stitch names there. But this was what I wanted to show you next. There are now 2 sizes of this hand-dyed fabric that you can buy from them. So I wanted to try one of the bigger pieces, and that's what this is. So the way, let me get this open first and then I'll talk. Beautiful green color. So the way the hand-dyed fabric works, they have 14 and 16 count and different colors. So you just pick one. They're, I think, 99 cents for the smaller one, $1.99 for the big one, but you don't get to pick the color or the the count, the 14 or 16. They do that randomly for you. So this is a larger piece. It is a 50 by 70 centimeter 14 count, but I paid $2 for it. I still can't believe what a good deal these are. So this is cotton hand-dyed, beautiful fabric here. This one's a little bit wrinkly because of the dyeing process. Afterwards, they don't starch them and all that stuff like they need to for the stamped cross stitch, so it's a lot softer. Actually, that's one of the exercises I'm supposed to be doing with this hand, is to try to crunch up towels with that hand to see if I can get it moving again. But look at how pretty this is. The beautiful dyeing process there. $2 for this nice huge piece of fabric. So that'll get a big project on there, or several little ones if you wanted to, but really, really nice fabric. So they have a limit of 1 per order. So I do have another order coming, and I do have another piece of that coming. We'll see what we get next time. Let's see, what is this? I'm reaching from the bottom now. So a lot of this order is going to be coming up next as bookmarks. So they had 4 Seasons bookmarks. This is the designer Ksenia there, 41 by 102, and I picked 16 count on this one, which may be a little bit large for a bookmark, and they actually had it framed like this, but on the website they called them bookmarks. But we'll take a look and see how big it is here. So we still have a lot of border there. That's bookmark sized. There's my hand on it. So I do enjoy stitching bookmarks. I have several stamp cross stitch bookmarks to get through. But here is the 16 count, and it looks like a lot of colors because we do have the hard floss cards. We have 2 of them, so I'm sneaking ahead here, but it looks like 32 colors because there are 2 more on there. So let's take a quick look at the pattern here. It is a little bit more complicated in the sense that we have a lot of half stitches, no quarter stitches, but a lot of half stitches and 2 different colors of back stitch on there. So it shows 35 different symbols. There you can see a little hint of the chart. I'm curious, okay, not a ton of back stitch. It looks like the little house and some of the plants in the foreground are where the back stitches are going to come in. So through here and then across the front. And it looks like a lot of half stitches used in the background to give the nice texturing effect. So I thought it was really pretty. And look at that printing there for the background. Can definitely read all the different colors and tell them apart. So I think they have made some great improvements on telling the different symbols apart. So if you tried them before and didn't like how light it was printed and the difficulty with reading some of the symbols, you might want to try again because they have definitely made improvements on that. And that looks really, really nice. And of course for the colors we only have a couple strands needed of each color, but we do have the green pine trees there and little bits of purples and pinks to go with the flowers, and then some golden brown for the little house. So that is that one. Let's see what's next here. Probably another one of those because I got all 4 to the set. Spoiler alert. So there's the winter. It's the same scene, the same tree, but this time with snow. So it's a little bit lighter colored, a little more blue on this one and white. Also the 16 count, same designer, Ksenia. Here, we'll take a look. I could probably go a little bit faster through these because once you've seen one, you kind of get the idea. But lots of extra around the edges of this one. So there's the nice print and not as many colors with this one. We'll take a look here. Yeah, a little more light purple in the blue and lots of white and off-white there. It looks like 23 different colors on this one. And I don't know if there are any blends. Let me take a look and I'll find out for you. There are indeed. So we do have some blends down here, a few different colors of backstitch and some of the half stitch there for the sky, but doesn't look too difficult there. Half stitch is actually easier than full stitch because it's just half of a cross stitch. You just have to remember that you're only doing half. Okay, let's see what's next here. Here's our next bookmark. That looks like maybe spring, although the other one could be spring and this one is summer, but we've got some light flowers there, same tree, same cabin, and kind of the same idea here, 16 count. Let's see, not as many colors on this one. So here's the color grouping on that one. So let's see what we got. Here it looks like 32 different symbols. We do have some blends and 3 different colors of backstitch and lots of half cross. So these should go pretty quick if I can ever get stitching. Because a lot of that background again is going to be just the half stitch. So there's our really pretty colors. A lot more greens with this one. I know I'm going through these kind of quick, but I am trying to get at least something out for y'all tonight. So, but at the same time, I need to give my hand a break. There we go, there's fall. Can tell by the oranges and yellows and the leaves there, that's really pretty. So looks like same deal here, Cassinia, 41 by 102, 16 count. A little more backstitch maybe on this one because of all those fall leaves that have to be outlined there. But that evergreen tree, that's the reason they're called evergreens, it's not changing color for the fall. So here is our printed canvas. Again, nice big background on these as opposed to the more budget friendlies that you find say on Amazon or Temu that don't really have a border with them. This one gives you plenty of border there, and I like the fact that they're 16 count instead of 11 count. I'm not sure, I think you can get them in 18 count, but I didn't want my eyes to suffer too much, so I picked 16 count on that one. So we do have one color there. We got 2 cards with just one extra color. I could move that and use this card for something else there, but we do have 31 different colors, and because of the fall, there's a lot more oranges and yellows and browns in this one, along with the green. So that is that one, and then we have one more here. We made it through all of them, which is good. This is the biggest one of the set, and I didn't get any counted ones this time. So this one is also a stamped cross stitch here. This is this beautiful design. Isn't that amazing? Talk about confetti stitching. I think it was the pinks and the trees that I really liked, because this again is Cassinia, same designer. I seem to really like that designer's stuff. So this one is called Spring Landscape, 132 by 176, and this is a 16 count. So this is the biggest one of the bunch. This is more of a full coverage, but I bet we have several half stitches, but oh, beautiful colors. Wow. Love it, love it. So let me add this to the stack. I'm keeping them all in order there. Hopefully that's not too distracting over there for you. But this one, definitely a little bit bigger project here. So we have 43 different symbols there, some blends. The blends start here at number 32 and go onward. We have lots of half stitch, lots of full stitch, and 4 different colors of back stitch. And this pattern is a little bit bigger, but here's a hint of some of the trees there, so you can see where some of that back stitch comes in. So a little bit more detail. It goes across 4 pages, it looks like here. But we only have one floss card, so, and it's a nice purple one. So we do only have 30 colors of DMC, or DMC, 30 DMC numbers of fairy brand floss. We have the bow, but you can see overall it's a lot more floss, but look at all those beautiful pinks and purples in this one. Oh, so pretty. Very, very bright. Those yellows against that green are just amazing there. I love it. That'll certainly brighten my day. I love those colors on this one. So let's take a look at the printing here. Definitely a full coverage piece here, 16 count, but very, very easy to read those symbols and tell them all apart there, but definitely more confetti heavy on this one. So this one will be good to do parking and some of the other confetti heavy methods for cross stitch that are out there. And I will remind you again, I do have a playlist of tutorials which includes several cross stitch tutorials on how I work confetti and work through stamped cross stitch, especially if the stitches are far apart, some of the different tricks you can do. But because this is 16 count, it's of course 2 strands. I do one strand folded in half and just keep using the color till I run out. And love how this one's gonna look. I wish I could work on this one right now. I may have to try it tomorrow morning. I typically don't stitch in the evenings because my hand is pretty sore by the end of the day. But this one might have to be a new start in one of the mornings over the next week or two. We'll see what we can do about that. But one more time, looking at how clear the printing is on that one. So that's a pretty big haul, but I like that you can shop at 121 Stitch and get several smaller kits for about the same as buying one large kit from other places. So we do have that one. And then our 4 Seasons bookmarks here. I will probably have to go through all the details of all those again because they're trying to fall over. And I don't want to get them mixed up here. And there we go. And then our beautiful fabric there. And our little dragon, he's so cute. And then our other landscapes here with our more complicated beach scene. And then the very first one we opened, which I put back so I can't show the picture. There it is, the mountain scene. So that's a really nice haul there. And again, even though these say 121 Stitch, it is now 5Stitch. So I will update you with the links below to get to them. And licensed cross stitch, very affordable prices. And the beautiful painting fairy printing and floss. I think it's a really good deal and something you should check out. So thanks for watching, and again, I'll put my affiliate code below for a discount. And I had somebody emailing me just this evening asking if my affiliate worked outside of the US, and I'm pretty sure it does. So give it a try. I don't think that the discount code cares what country that you are purchasing from, so it shouldn't be a problem. But I appreciate your time and your patience, and I'm heading towards 6,000 subscribers. So if you are watching this and haven't hit that subscribe button, I do not normally push for subscribers and all that, but since I'm headed towards 6,000 and about to reach a milestone here, hopefully soon, I am going to do one request to please like, subscribe, all that good stuff to get my videos out there. It doesn't cost you anything, but it really does make a difference for us content creators because it helps get our content out there more and get the advertisers on it and all that good stuff that we need to help fund our crazy crafting that we share with you. So if you have a minute, just go ahead and hit that button if you don't mind, and it'll help me out immensely. And I'll be back with more content, hopefully, as my hand continues to heal. So stay tuned and don't give up on me, and I appreciate your support. So thanks for watching.